Coin.
Hey there, YouTube coin community. It's Dustin with CoinOp, and today we're going to take a look at 5 1930s common date Buffalo nickel varieties that you can find while searching. Now, Buffalo nickels, common date ones, you can get them relatively inexpensive, anywhere from lower end ones for about 50 cents to between around $2 to $3. So you can get these relatively cheap and find some wonderful high-end varieties. So let's dive right on in. Okay, the first one that we are going to take a look at is an over mint mark. Now, this is the 1938 Denver mint over San Francisco mint. This is a 1938 D over S. Now, this is a beautiful, beautiful over mint mark. This one is quite obvious. If you are looking at the reverse of this one, you're going to want to take a look down at the D mint mark. Now, this is on the Denver mints. And you will find that the D mint mark is directly over top of an S mint mark. Now, in the inside of the D mint mark, you can see remnants of the S, but looking at the D mint mark on top of it, you can see the top of the S mint mark protruding, and you can see the curve of it. So this is a really cool over mint mark. This one is a must-have in anyone's collection if they collect these. Now, these ones, when you're searching, start out in the lower grades at around $6 to $10. And in higher circulated grades, they trade upwards of $30 to $35. Now, uncirculated examples, they trade between $45 and upwards of about $145. Now, really nice higher graded examples, of course, can sell for much, much more. I believe they've had examples sell over $13,000 for MS68 examples. So these can be quite valuable in uncirculated grades, but definitely worth checking your Buffalo nickels for. Okay, now we are taking a look at a 1938 D over D. This is a repunched mint mark. This is the most popular repunched mint mark for the 1938 series. This is the D over D. Now, when taking a look at this one, you're going to want to take a look down at the D mint mark on the reverse, and you can clearly see repunching to the west of the primary mint mark. Now, on the outside of the mint mark, if you look directly to the west of it, you can see clear remnants of a secondary mint mark, and you can also see the remnants inside of the D mint mark on nicer, higher graded examples. But this is a very popular repunched mint mark. Now, while searching your Buffalo nickels, if you happen to find one of these, circulated examples trade anywhere from the lower end from about $5 to $8 to upwards of about $14 for circulated examples. Now, uncirculated examples, they tend to trade between $20 and upwards of $80. Now, of course, much nicer, higher graded examples will trade much more. I do know there's been an example that has traded well over $3,000 in an MS68 condition. So these can be quite valuable. I do suggest checking your Buffalo nickels for them. Okay, we are moving on to a very, very popular Buffalo nickel variety that can be found on a common date Buffalo. This is the 1937 Denver mint. This is the 1937 D, three-legged Buffalo nickel. Now, on this one is quite obvious. You're going to want to take a look at the reverse. Now, when you're looking at the reverse, you're going to look down at the first leg that is the closest to the left side of the coin. You're going to see where they over polished it. You'll see the hoof, but the leg itself is gone. It's been polished away. There's some fine remnants of it, but for the most part, it has been filed away. Now, there is a pickup point on this coin that you want to look for. Right beneath the Buffalo's genitalia, you'll see over polishing marks that kind of resembles what in the industry we like to call the P stream, but it'll have over polishing marks that stem from right around the Buffalo's genitalia down to the mound that it is standing on. And that is a key pickup point. That is a die marker for this variety. Now, you want to pay attention to that die marker because while you're out there searching, there are a lot of fakes of this one out there. So you do want to be careful when purchasing this. If you are purchasing one of these, make sure it has been graded by one of the top tier grading companies and it is sold through a trusted dealer. But if you happen to find one of these can be quite valuable. Circulated examples start out at around $450 on the low end, and circulated examples on the higher end can trade upwards of $1,000. Now, uncirculated examples, they start out at around $2,000, and they can trade upwards of around $29,500, and of course, much more for higher graded examples. I know looking at PCGS Price Guide, they have an example that sold for $97,750 in an MS67 holder. So these can be very, very valuable. So I do suggest checking your 1937 Denver Mints and seeing if you happen to have one of these awesome three-legged buffaloes. Okay, now we are moving on to yet another popular buffalo nickel variety, except this one is much tougher to find, and this one can be a little bit confusing when searching for. This is the 1936D, which is a Denver Mint, the 1936D 3.5 leg buffalo nickel variety. So this one features 3.5 legs. Now, when you are looking at the reverse of this one, again, you're going to be looking at the very first leg, the leg closest to the left side of the coin. Now, on this one, just the bottom half of the leg has been polished away. Now, I am going to show the image. I pulled this from PCGS's Price Guide. If you were to go over to PCGS Price Guide, they have an awesome image that shows you a comparison of what the normal leg should look like compared to what the 3.5 leg variety looks like. Now, I will tell you, on low grade buffalo nickels, sometimes from where the leg can kind of mimic this, and I've seen people get confused with this one. So this is one to be careful with. Make sure you really know what you're looking for while you're searching for this one. But this one can be quite valuable, so I do suggest searching for it, and it is very popular. So if you happen to find one of these in low grades, they start out at around $500, and in nicer circulated conditions, they trade upwards of around $6,000. Now, uncirculated examples, they trade between $8,500 and upwards of around $16,000. Now, of course, a much nicer, higher graded example would trade much higher, but currently there is only one example graded MS62. There is none graded higher to my knowledge. So if you happen to be lucky enough to find one of these in a higher grade, it would definitely fetch an extreme amount of money. So I do suggest studying this coin. Go over, check out some of the reference sites, learn some of the key pickup points on this one. And if you happen to have some uncirculated 1936D buffalo nickels, I would definitely be checking for this one. Okay, now we are moving on to a 1935 double die reverse. Now, this is a buffalo nickel that is a double die reverse. This is a beautiful double die reverse. This is a nice strong one, and this is on the 1935 buffalo nickel. This is the Philadelphia Mint, so there's no mint mark on this one. But this is a common date when you are buying buffalo nickels. This is going to be one of the dates you're going to find the most of. So this is a great one to look for, and when you do find this one, it does carry some value. Now, on higher grade examples, the doubling on the top portion of the coin is going to be much easier to see. On lower grade examples, it's going to be tougher to see. But the main pickup points, you're going to want to take a look at E Pluribus Unum and United States of America. You can find doubling up on all of that. But the strongest doubling and the easiest to see, even on very low grade examples, you can clearly see it, is down on 5 cents. The doubling is the strongest, in my opinion, down on 5 cents. So if you happen to find one of these while you are searching your buffalo nickels. Now, circulated examples, they start out at around $50, and they can trade upwards of $2,000, while uncirculated examples start out at around $3,500, and they can trade upwards of $30,000. Now, there was an example that did sell for over $104,000 in the past, in 2007, as a matter of fact. So these can be very, very valuable, especially in nice, high uncirculated grades. So I do strongly suggest checking your buffalo nickels for these. Now, for this video, I decided to go with common date buffalo nickels, specifically because these are the ones that are going to be most readily available, and the ones that if you happen to have some buffalo nickels laying around, these are probably the dates you're going to have. So make sure you check them. Bonus coin. Okay, so I decided to go with a bonus coin for this one. I showed you 5 common date 1930s buffalo nickels. So I'm going to show you one that's not exactly a common date. This is a 1916 buffalo nickel. Now, one of the most sought after double dies in the buffalo nickel series is the 1916. A very beautiful double die adverse. Now, here's an example that was graded by PCGS, graded MS64, that sold for $264,500. Again, this coin sold for $264,500. Now, this coin sold in September of 2005, but that is just an extreme amount of money. That is over $250,000 for a buffalo nickel. Now, what makes this variety so popular and so valuable is nobody even realized that this double die existed until over 40 years after the production of this coin. And this is a very strong, naked eye visible double die. So it took 40 years for somebody to finally discover this one. And after it was announced, everybody had to have it. So it gained just a ton of popularity, making it where if you have this in any grade, it fetches a large amount of money. And just to show you, there's an example graded MS64 that sold for $264,500. Okay there, YouTube coin community. Real quick, I wanted to talk about the Looksee app. Now, I did mention the Looksee app in a prior video. Now, if you are looking for an app to image your coins, to store those images of your coins in a collection so you can always keep track of your coins, and to be able to share those images immediately with fellow like-minded collectors, or to immediately upload them to a social platform of your choosing or email, etc., well then the Looksee app is right for you. Now, I will post links to the app down in the comments. It is free. Do keep in mind the Looksee app is 100% free. It's free to download. It's free to use. So make sure you go check it out, download it, give it a whirl. You can find me on that app. If you take an image of your coin and post that image to the chat, I might just be one of the ones to comment on it. Now, if you did enjoy this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. The more that you interact with our YouTube channel, the more it encourages YouTube to share our content with more and more people. Also, by subscribing. If you are not yet subscribed to our channel, click on that subscribe button, and while you are at it, click on the notification bell. That way you get notified immediately when we upload new content. Well, everyone, until next time, have fun!